I'm here to be an all-time great.
You're now rocking with the best.
Purple yellow, purple yellow, purple yellow, purple yellow.
The Lakers repeat back-to-back title.
Welcome to the Bigbabyjonathan Sports Podcast.
Oh, he's smoking hot.
The latest Laker news.
Another great Showtime feed.
The greatest Lakers show.
This is going to be legendary for a long time.
This is the Bigbabyjonathan Sports Podcast.
Lakers all day.
Go Lakers!
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Big Baby. What's poppin', everybody? It's Bigbabyjonathan here. Welcome to the latest edition of the Bigbabyjonathan Sports Podcast. And I got a very special guest, Aaron. Aaron, man, one of my biggest supporters of the show, man. How's it going, man? I'm glad you took the time of your day to come on my show, man. It's an honor, man. Appreciate you. How's it going?
It's going good, man. Can't complain. Had a good day today. It was productive. Put the work in the gym, and excited to be here, man.
So how the gyms out there where you stay? What's the protocols out there?
Well, I'm in Orange County, so it's basically wear a mask. You're not limited to your time, so you're allowed to work out, stay as long as you want. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on, and everybody wear your mask.
Yes, wear your mask.
And in today's show, we're going to talk about the Lakers off-season plans. But before we talk about the off-season plans, man, so Aaron, give us your thoughts about the NBA championship experience that you watched on TV, man. Tell us a little bit about that. What was your excitement?
I couldn't believe it. It was one of those where we've been waiting a long time. Laker Nation's been waiting a long time to get back to being a title contender, and the grind of the bubble, watching these guys compete, and just the aggressiveness that this game turned up, and it was just. The championship game was just everything. I couldn't believe it. It was one of those that it finally happened, and we've been struggling for so long that I just it was such a great moment that I'll never forget. And I'm happy that I saw the one from 10 years ago, but now I could stop watching highlights of that and actually look forward to looking at the new stuff. So it's great. I love this team, and I love the energy these guys put out. So.
Yeah, man, me too, man. My experience watching this Laker team this year, man, was a lot of excitement, a lot of passion, and Lakers were riding high when we beat the Clippers in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Baby Bradley just dropped 21 points. LeBron did this thing against Giannis and Kawhi. And then pandemic hit, we had to sit out for 5 months, 6 months, and then the bubble happened, and then the expectation for us was winning the championship. Once the bubble started, the first game against Portland in the playoffs, it's first, I think 8 games, was struggling. I was like, maybe they're going through this. It's going to make them better. First game against Portland, we got punched in the face. You know what pissed off the Lakers? When Damian Lillard went like this, when he hit that 3 in that first game in the playoffs. Yeah. And then that's what pissed off the Lakers. Him dancing, that woke up the Lakers. So that also going through that with last 10 years. 2010 was the last championship. Going through that, I was watching highlights and visualizing Lakers winning another championship. And visualizing watching it in the living room and celebrating with my family. Sure enough, it happened. And people need to put respect on LeBron, including me. You earned my respect as a Laker. Once you win a championship with the Lakers, you're part of the Laker history. So
absolutely,
yeah, man, I'm excited. What the season's going to come about. Speaking of the Laker season, it's going to happen December 22nd. And also, too, just announced yesterday, Wojnarowski, free agency starts on the 20th. But you can make trades prior to the draft, 3 days prior, which is Sunday. So, man, it's going to be crazy, man. So, let's get into it, man. So, out of the Lakers, who do you want to bring back? And also, who do you want to put on this Laker team in free agency?
Well, obviously, first thing is first is lock up the big guy. So, give a nice contract to Anthony Davis. I think he's going to be pretty well aware of the cap, the salary cap. How much money do the Lakers have? How much money can we give him that we could sign AD? We can also, I'd like to bring back Avery Bradley, especially because he was huge for our defense this year. The rotations, the on-ball defense, it was just incredible. I feel like once we lock up AD and we see exactly where the money is, I hope to bring back majority of the squad. And possibly, I'm not sure about JaVale McGee. I know the free agency market's been we've been hearing talks here and there. But definitely, the core of the team, obviously we're going to have LeBron, no worries. But I feel like if we keep most of the core of the team, they're pretty good. And our defense was pretty good. And, when the bubble started, I feel like we weren't all synced together. I don't think we're going to have J.R. Smith. I think he was just kind of I'm gonna get a ring, and I didn't play many minutes, but he contributed a little bit, so I feel like most of the core of the team from the regular season will be back.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah,
Like reset AD, but I already know AD's gonna opt out, come
yeah,
back probably for the 2-for-1 or 1-for-1, so you get
probably.
that super max. Because I have a feeling that once LeBron leaves, we're gonna build around AD. So I feel like 1-for-1, 1-for-1. Then once LeBron dips, we'll bring in more players. But for me, man, I know J.R. Smith's probably not gonna come back.
Yeah,
Jared Dudley, probably not Quinn Cook,
yeah,
probably not Dion Waiters, and who I want the Lakers to bring back. Hopefully Dwight Howard.
yes,
Hopefully
absolutely.
because Dwight Howard, man. Let's get into Dwight, man. Dwight's impact on this Laker team in the playoffs worked out well. His defense, his energy, his hustle, his tenacity. He locked up the Joker at times
Oh
in
yeah,
that Western Conference Finals. So people are bashing that title that Dwight has. Shaq was over here saying he doesn't deserve it. He put his blood, sweat, and tears into the title. So Shaq, I know you're a Laker legend, but man, sometimes you say stuff that rubs people the wrong way, man. Don't disrespect Dwight. He earned that title, man. Bring back him because he can, and let JaVale McGee go. You could possibly bring in a Serge Ibaka.
yeah.
Serge Ibaka would work well with this team. Dwight's energy, like Dwight deserves to come back and try to win another ring with the Lakers. So we'll see what happens. And KCP potentially coming back. So I trust the Laker front office. I don't.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not gonna. I trust Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, Linda Rambis, Kurt Rambis, Tim Harris, all them in the front office, man. I trust them. So, what you think, man? What do you want to see the Lakers do?
I
Bring
definitely.
in.
I'll touch on your with Dwight. Let's start with that the fact that we all know that 2013, the end of that year, he wasn't happy. He was playing, he when he came here the first time, he wasn't playing in an offense that was built for him. We know that we should have probably had Phil Jackson, and he could have potentially stayed, but you know what? That happened, life happens, and it was a very bitter taste. And to see when I heard he was going to come back, at first I was kind of shocked because he knows he didn't leave here on a great reputation, and it says, okay, well, we have an older Dwight now. He says he's not the same person. Okay, talk is cheap. Let's see what you can do on the court. Let's see how you actually do. So playing on a contract that you're not even guaranteed on, and actually just going out there your first few games of the year, and I was like, wow, this guy is doing the things that we wanted him to do. His back is healthy. He's not dealing with any injuries. He's not complaining. There's no issues with chemistry. And honestly, he really accepted his role pretty well. And that's the biggest thing I saw is his minutes were obviously not nowhere near what he's used to playing, but he came in there with an open mindset, and he really dominated, and he was great against Jokic, man. Like that Western Conference Finals, he was beating him up, he was getting in his face, he was blocking shots. It was great, and I loved it, and definitely could see him possibly be the starting center this year. I like the idea of having Serge Ibaka instead of JaVale McGee. I feel like McGee, just didn't look right, and he just didn't seem like he was himself. And I feel like, it's time to part ways with McGee and look at Ibaka, who actually could shoot, I believe, 30% or more from the 3-point line. And his defense is great. And I think him and Howard could dominate completely. And they could be as we say, is the Bynum and Gasol that we used to have. So, I like it. I like our chances with it. I like our chances with free agency. And, I'm really excited to see where we can go with it.
Yeah, I'm excited too, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. NBA's coming back.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. Let's say Dwight doesn't come back. Who do we go get to replace Dwight? Serge Ibaka is a possibility. Also, Norris Noel from the Thunder.
Yeah.
He's talented, but I just feel like Lakers need to keep the core. Tweak some pieces. Go get Dalila Gallinari. Will work perfect. She could shoot the three, create his own shot. Now be perfect if you double team LeBron, kick it out to Gallinari, be deadly, man. So I expect the Lakers to try to trade for a shooter too. You know, and realistically, I'm gonna keep it real because I always do on my channel.
Oh yeah.
I expect us to trade Kuzma this offseason. What do you think about that Kyle Kuzma experiment for the Lakers so far? Are you high on Kyle Kuzma, or like you want to get rid of him?
I'm one of those that he just didn't perform. I don't think he was performing great at all. I think that when LeBron, I think last year before we got Anthony Davis, obviously he saw more minutes. He saw, there wasn't as the veteran experience around him, but I feel like he underperformed. And I think, he really, we needed him in the playoffs, and he wasn't that Kuzma that we've seen before. Like last year, we saw glimpses of Kuzma of being the aggressor and taking good shots and not rushing things. And I feel like this year, he said, "Okay, I need to step up my game even more, but I am doing things that I'm out of my comfort zone." So honestly, I'm kind of at the point where if we have an opportunity to get a veteran guard and give up Kuzma, I'd be happy to see him go to a franchise that he could be a scorer there and he could be a starter there. Because, with the way the Lakers are built right now, is Kuzma will not be a starter. He will not. He's going to be always coming off the bench. And I feel like his game can grow. And I think it's just going to take some time.
Yeah, you talking about Kuzma? Kuzma's the experiment with the Lakers did good when we had Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, because it was his offense, run and gun. With LeBron, kind of like he does not get that many minutes. Here's a trade that I would do if I were the Lakers. What's Indiana? Give me Oladipo. I'll give you Kuzma, and have a good day. Works well for both teams. We need that slasher. Victor Oladipo. If Victor Oladipo is healthy, like I know he could be, Lakers can repeat easy because Victor Oladipo.
He's great.
Great.
Oh
Play tough defense. Great grind. Shoot that three. And let's say we trade Danny Green with Kuzma and we bring back Avery Bradley and Victor Oladipo. If we get Victor Oladipo and have Avery Bradley in that backcourt, man, great defense in that backcourt with LeBron, AD.
Oh my God.
Potentially Serge Ibaka. So this Laker team could tweak the roster and get better. And we're already getting doubted. They're already picking the Clippers just like they did last year. They're already picking Denver to beat us. Max Kellerman said Denver's going to beat us. They said that last year. So I expected this to happen because we won in 2010. They praised us for about 2 weeks and they said, "Oh, we can't even three-peat." So it's part of the NBA, man. It's part of basketball. I'm excited for it. But we got to get into Rondo, too. So Rondo.
He's a huge piece.
Yeah, huge piece. But if he leaves, what point guard would you want?
We'd have to look. I'd have to really look to see. I mean, because honestly, and I think the way that I could see it is this Lakers team knows how valuable Rondo is to this team. I feel like this year with him and AD had that connection that you saw when they were in New Orleans together. And I feel like Jeannie Buss is going to look at this opportunity to say, look, we're not going to give you a 1-year deal. We're not going to give you a 2-year deal. We're going to give you a deal where you're comfortable with, because I feel like he enjoys playing out here. And, LeBron loves him. And it was huge for LeBron because he could be more in the playoffs. He was more of his traditional self as a forward, not coming off the ball instead of having to worry about having the ball in his hands at all times. So I feel like that if we can lock up Rajon, we'd be in business. And possibly, he could be in the same role that he was. And I think he liked being with the bench and the core guys to keep that offense moving.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Rondo's a big part of our team. He brings that veteran leadership.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know the report that the Clippers want Rondo, and then also, this is from Mark Stein, he said the Clippers are expected to go after Rondo, and then at the bottom of the tweet, he said Lakers fully engaged in re-signing Rondo. So if we get Rondo back, but let's hypothetically say he leaves,
I could imagine he's going to the Clippers of all teams.
He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go to the San Diego Clippers, the LA Chokers. Yep. But here are some players that I think Lakers should go get if Rondo leaves: Derrick Rose, Spencer Dinwiddie, and possibly let Alex Caruso start. Give him more minutes, and Horton Tucker might get more minutes because Horton Tucker played really well in the Houston series for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. He played great, shoot that three, play the defense. So I expect the Lakers to, okay, if Rondo leaves, let's go get somebody else. If this person leaves, so Lakers have options. I trust them, so I'm not really worried going in free agency. We got LeBron, AD. If you have LeBron, AD, a bunch of shooters, you'll win, just like we did this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got the two best players in the league, and I like our chances against anybody. We have, I feel like the free agent market, they're definitely going to look at exploring things. There's a lot of opportunities. Yes, I like Victor Oladipo a lot. His game is terrific. I think he'll blend well with the starting group. And it just be very interesting to see exactly where we go. I feel like we already have our team locked in, and I feel like the minor tweaks that we make will just improve us more because there's so many people. Like I looked on ESPN, I looked on the other Mark Stein and some of the other reporters, and everybody's saying the Warriors are going to win. The Warriors are going to outschool the Clippers, or the Warriors are going to outschool the Lakers. Lakers are not going to have a chance to repeat again. They're not that great, and it's like they gotta stop with doubting us because we proved a statement in the bubble of the environment that these guys were playing in, the environment that they had to be away from their families and go through all the doubts, and Damian Lillard with taunting the Lakers and so on. So I feel like we've proven a statement here, and we deserve our respect, just like LeBron said. We want our damn respect. And I feel like the pieces that we're going to add to free agency, whether we're adding Oladipo, Gallinari, those are great choices, and obviously bringing back the core part of the team, I think that's going to really show a statement to all the networks to say, look out, like the Lakers aren't going anywhere. We suffered a lot. It was a very brutal last 10 years. We've had to deal with, after Kobe's Achilles, everything just started to go downhill. So, I feel like we're not going anywhere, and the people that we're going to bring in is a good group of people no matter what. Plus you have LeBron's choices on who we're going to bring in, along with Anthony Davis, because they're both the co-captains of the team. So
yeah, most definitely, man. I agree with you 100%. But there's other names I forgot to mention.
yeah,
If we don't get Dylan Gunnar, we got Jeremy Grant.
Yes.
He played really well with Denver. He played defense, goes long, athletic, and spread the floor. And DeMar DeRozan too. DeMar DeRozan with the player option. But there's rumors that we might be trading for DeMar DeRozan. We might give up Kuzma, Danny Green. We'll see. We'll see. And also there's Joe Harris from Brooklyn. He could shoot the three. And also Evan Fournier. So there's all types of free agents Lakers can go get.
yeah,
What's his name? Gordon Dragic is a free agent. Serge Ibaka, like we mentioned. Marquise Morris. We get another Marquise Morris brother over there in LA. So the Lakers have potential. But everybody, Laker Nation, stop with the Devin Booker rumors. We're not getting him.
no, he's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
Phoenix would be stupid to try and give him up. He is their Steve Nash.
Yes.
They've waited a long time for somebody to take over that franchise. When Nash left, they let Dragic go, and look what he did. Look what he did with Miami. I mean, he's found a home in Miami. I don't think Miami's even going to let him go. I think that they have somebody now that could be as good, if not, as good as Dwayne Wade's team was when he was there. And that team's going to go a long ways. And, it'll be very interesting to see exactly, who we're going to get. I've heard also the names thrown out there is that they want to bring back Boogie Cousins. And, I've heard that out there. So, it's like, okay, do we take a chance of bringing him back? Okay, but if we bring him back, what is he going to want? Because he might want to start too, because that was the original plan. We weren't even talking about Howard until he got hurt. So,
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And if we bring back Cousins, I would say JaVale McGee go.
Yeah.
And bring back Dwight. I don't know. But if the Lakers say, here's the thing about the Lakers, they have a championship team. I have a feeling, I want to not be surprised if they say, okay, let's bring the troops back and let JaVale McGee go and bring somebody to fill JaVale McGee and just run it with the same role players that we had last year. I would not be surprised.
No, me either.
I would not be surprised because we can still win the championship. And here's the thing I want to bring up. Speaking of the season, December 22nd, as a Laker fan, I expect the Lakers to load of management LeBron James this year. What do you think?
Because of the start and the shortage of 72 something days that we've been off, I feel like LeBron is going to be sitting out. He's going to have his games where they're going to put a minute restriction on him. Probably no more than maybe 34 minutes if that, and then if they have to play back to back, he doesn't play. And possibly Davis gets a little bit of a rest too, because it's just not fair. I think it's not fair for what the league is doing. but I get it. It's for TV. Mostly it's for TV that they're doing this for. But I would not be surprised to see LeBron getting rest.
Yeah, same here. And we have AD, so we can do that. You know, and I know I wasn't a fond of load management
Yeah, me
before I
either.
done it, but you only have 72 days of an off season, man, and you have to restart up. And LeBron, I saw a report. This was on the rumor mill on Twitter. You know,
Yeah.
Twitter always retweets and sends me things. So
Oh,
I
all
saw
the
it,
time.
and they said LeBron was pissed off about not playing. And then today, I saw another report that he's okay with it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We just gotta, just gotta face it and just play. You know, it sucks that we can't start in January because I wanted them to start in January so they can get more rest. You know, because here's the thing: they're talking about this championship that the Lakers just won is an abstract. It's not. They're only saying
No.
it because it's the Lakers. If the Clippers would have won, they said, "Oh, they deserve it." If Milwaukee would have won, they would have said they deserve it. If Miami would have beat the Lakers, they would have said, "Oh, Miami deserves it." So it's not an abstract. So Pat Riley, because Pat Riley said this Lakers championship is an abstract. No, it's not. They still finished the
No.
season. They finished the season. We got the ring. We got the trophy, and I'm getting my replica trophy in January. It's gonna be delivered here to my house. So,
There we go.
yep. And then I'm gonna get another one because we're gonna repeat. I have all the confidence in the Lakers to get this done. You know, I have all the high praise for the Lakers because we're champions. Like, we're the team to beat. We got a bullet eye on our back. Like, okay, the Lakers won
Yeah.
it. Now let's go try to beat them. You know, I know Golden State's gonna be up there. You know, try to get players because they could trade that pick and package it. I heard Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
That's not going to work because
No.
3 shooters, you may have to trade Draymond Green. And let's say hypothetically that happens and they give Draymond Green. Don't be surprised if Washington buys out Draymond Green and we get him. No, so there's all types
Yeah.
of speculation and hype, you know. But
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. It's going to be crazy offseason, you know. And the draft, too, is coming up, too. The NBA draft. You know, I just know LaMelo Ball's probably trying to go number 1, you know, or Golden
course.
State. You know, LaMelo Ball is really talented, but LeVar Ball always talking again. Oh, my son needs to go to Detroit. My son, let LeVar Ball, let LaMelo do his thing.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you
let him
know,
do his thing, man. He's a grown ass man.
yeah, he is. And you know, it's the same thing that he's trying to do that he did Alonzo. And that's where LeVar stuck his foot in the wrong areas, and he got yelled at by the Lakers ownership and the management to say, look, like, let your son make his own decisions. He's part of us. He's not part of you. Before he got in the league, yeah, you could tell him whatever he wants to do. But in the end, you know, same thing now with LaMelo is he's just got to find his own path.
Yep.
You can't let your dad, who has his big baller brand company, control yourself. And you know, that's the worst part about it that I see. And you know, his dad was mad because I guess supposedly LaMelo signed with Puma.
Yeah, I seen
And
that, and that's on the next
yeah,
episode of the Ball Family. I watched that show. I ain't gonna lie, I watched that Ball Family, but
it's
sometimes
interesting. Yeah,
sometimes I feel like LeVar Ball tries to control the Suns, and it's not cool. Let him grow up, let him do their thing, man. It's like that's why Lonzo has a lot of ankle injuries because those big baller brand shoes didn't it wasn't good to play basketball on them.
yeah. He
Even
left.
even hmm
He left. Even
yeah, he left them, and he's doing his own thing, you know. And it's just crazy, you know. LaMelo Ball is better than Lonzo in my opinion because he can score better than Lonzo. So it's gonna be interesting. Minnesota might get that one center, I forgot his name, from Georgia, number 1. So it's gonna be all types of trades and stuff. I'm excited, man. You know, so I did a trade thing on Trade Machine on ESPN, Lakers and Wizards.
really.
I traded Kuzma, Danny Green, Alex Caruso, and Giannis's brother for Bradley Beal, and it worked. Would you be accustomed to give up all those assets for Bradley Beal?
That's a That's a lot to give up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like, you know, Bradley Beal, don't get me wrong, he's a terrific player.
Mm-hmm.
But and you know that they're gonna want a whole bunch of things from the Lakers, pieces from them, in order to trade one guy. I feel like personally that that's a lot to give up. And you know, you have to really say, okay, well, if we did this, like, do we have these veterans that we're going to take in their place?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, obviously there's conversations that we could talk about is about Danny Green, you know, who has been through everything. I felt so bad for the guy because he was getting threats. He was getting threats by him and his fiance, just because he wasn't playing great. But not many people, took him for, what he is. And we've seen it before when he was in San Antonio, his clutch threes in Toronto. You just have a bad year, and that's fine. People, you're either going to be dealing with some injuries, nagging injuries that's going to throw off your rhythm. And I feel like that's what happened to him. I feel like we should keep him. I feel like Danny Green deserves another year because I think he's got a 2-year deal. I think this was a 2-year deal or 3. And I feel like he's going to be a better scorer. His defense will be better this year. And when he's not dealing with Achilles pain and he's not dealing with a hip that's messed up, he's going to be more of the Danny Green I feel like that we know, because he had some good games for us this year.
Yeah, he did, man. Danny Green had that dunk against Atlanta, the putback when
Yeah,
LeBron hit that 3 or missed that
yeah,
3. He came in and boom. I think at the end of the day, them being in the bubble, kind of like threw him off Danny Green's rhythm, because Danny Green said he felt depressed in there and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, not being away from family for I think 3 months will take a toll, So I understand. Danny Green was just missing him. I guarantee you. Because here's the thing about Danny Green. To me, this is my personal opinion. He thrives off the fans. If the fans are getting excited, he'll start making threes. And
yeah,
I noticed that about Danny Green. That's just my personal opinion, man.
yeah,
So it's gonna be interesting to see what we do. And Danny Green said on his podcast, like if he Lakers fan, he understands it's business. He ain't gonna cry. He ain't gonna mope. He's just gonna go somewhere and play over there. He's not gonna cry. It's a business. A lot of these players around the league get butthurt when they get traded. It's part of basketball.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna keep him. I feel like that they're gonna see how he does to start next year, or next, I guess, in the next few months. To see exactly where his body's at. I've been seeing him working out. I've seen little clips of him shooting threes, working out, doing other things. So, it's good to see him finding his rhythm. And, I hope he's healthy. I hope he's feeling better. And, I feel like not having the bubble environment this year, this coming season, is going to help him out. Because I feel like he was pretty good for us. The putback, the Atlanta games, the Clippers night that we played each other. He hit some big 3-pointers for us, and maybe he is just a guy that goes off of the fans, and that's okay too. It's just he deserves respect. He is a good defensive guard, and he could shoot. And I think he deserves his respect, and I feel like that Laker fans will acknowledge it more if he's healthy and he's playing like the way we know he is.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Danny Green's a champion. He's been a part of the
Yeah,
He's been a part of the championship pedigree with Toronto, San Antonio. So it's he just had a bad year, like you said, man. You know what I mean? But before we get on here, what would give me your top 3 best plays of the season of the Lakers?
oh man, let's see. Well, we have AD. Obviously, I have to go with Anthony Davis's clutch 3 to win the game in the playoffs. Man, that was unbelievable. Danny Green's putbacks right up there, probably number 2. And I think LeBron's game winner. He hit like a 30-foot 3. I think it was against the Clippers, and just just took the life out of that team. And I feel like you're just gonna see more of that. And so I would say that's my top.
Yeah, for me, man, the AD3, man. And here's the crazy thing: I should have recorded it, but I didn't. I was watching it on TV, and I
Yeah.
looked at this behind me, the Kobe picture frame, and I said, "Kobe, we need you." Sure enough, AD hit that shot, and I said, even when he was in the air, I said, "Kobe." And I
There you go. Yeah.
ran out of the house screaming, yelling, and
Yeah.
I was running down my whole neighborhood screaming, yelling, and then the neighbors like, "What's going on?" I go, "Lakers just hit the game winner." They're like, "Hell yeah!" So it's just that's number 1 for me. Number 2, it's before the pandemic. Alex Caruso's dunk when LeBron and Dwight Howard came in. When he dunked it, everybody started jumping behind him.
Oh
Did you see
yeah.
that play against Detroit, like that
Oh
one?
yeah.
And when LeBron was hitting those threes against San Antonio back to back, and he shot it and then fell, screaming and yelling, man. And also too, one more bonus one. when Alex Caruso blocked Lonzo Ball.
Yes,
That was my
absolutely.
favorite play by, that was, ooh, man, I got hyped for that one. My cousin was at that game too. He saw it live. So he
Oh
said
yeah.
it was crazy,
That was honestly, and thinking about that one now, I could see it in my head, and honestly, I'd add that one even to mine too, because just it just showed everybody Caruso's ability to just say, you know what, I don't care who I'm guarding, I will go up there and do every attempt I can to block that shot, and that was a clean block too, and
hmm
that was kind of a statement of just saying, get out of my way, like so. I feel like we got a lot to see from this team and to see where free agency goes.
hmm
And it's just going to be really interesting to see what pieces we add, or honestly, do we keep majority of the team and just tweak little pieces here and there?
Yeah, most definitely, man. And before I get up on here, I got real quick, Laker fans. If we go 0-4, 0-5, don't say fire Frank Vogel. Don't panic, because at the end of the day, like, I would not be surprised if we keep it real, struggle for a little bit, and then ramp it up again and turn it up. Because they've been off for 72 days. Will not be surprised if they struggle for a little bit and then bounce back. That because if you're off for 71 days and play organized basketball, you're gonna have like your bumps and bruises, and that's what I feel. What about you? Do you think the Lakers are gonna struggle coming out the gate December 22nd, or do you think they're gonna punch for the fences?
I feel like at least game one, the first game of the night that we get the rings and the banner comes up, we're gonna win that game. And I feel like that we're gonna have our games where we just look a little tired, where we just look lost a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I'll even reiterate that is no matter what, no matter how we start, nobody should be saying to fire Frank Vogel, because in the end, it's not his fault. It's
Mm-hmm.
not the team's fault that we are starting the season early. It's the league. It's because of TV. They need their money, and we all know Christmas Day, ABC and ESPN get their most money for the whole season
Mm-hmm.
because of what do they have, like 8 games, 9 games on the league
Yeah.
on the
Mm-hmm.
channel. So, they're doing this so they can reiterate how the games are being broadcasted, get the money's worth, and ultimately, I think we're gonna have an okay. I think we're gonna be okay. It might be a little shaky the first half, but I feel like we'll turn it around.
It's not about how you start; it's about how you
How you
finish. I got,
finish.
yep. And the Lakers gonna do their thing, but Aaron, man, go ahead and give out your social media, man, so they can follow you, man.
Always, dude. It's been a pleasure being on here, man. Appreciate it. Look forward to more.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, take care.